Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to the cabin. Today is January 1st, 2018. It's 11 below zero with a wind chill factor of minus 28. We'll have 9 hours and 4 minutes of daylight on the mountain today, and that's 4 minutes more than we had during my last posting. This is the Cabin Life Journals, episode number 3, titled Being My Own Boss. The coming of a new year has always been a reflective time for me, and my journals play an important role with my decision-making. I've mentioned before how I like to run my life like a business, but that strategy reaches far beyond the simple management of funds, you see. There's just as much focus placed on morale as there is on cost analysis, and the onset of a new year means it's time for my annual review. When high standards are placed on the contentment factor, and I reflect upon how I spent my valuable time and how much pleasure it provided me, well, those year-end reviews can be a real eye-opener. No matter who you are or how you live or whatever language you speak, we're all given the same amount of time. 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, and 365 days in a year. What we do with our time is our business. But a business can flourish or fail depending on how it is managed. It is the same with time. It can be invested or it can be wasted, and those are your choices. Over the past few decades, at the onset of a new year, I'd reflect back upon my year through the pages of my journal. I'd read about the problems I had been faced with, what my actions were due to my problems, and what the outcome was due to my actions. And with an honest assessment of the year gone by, I'd make the necessary changes to eliminate everything from my life that was working against me. Now that doesn't mean I'd turn tail and quit at the first sign of opposition. No, sir. But when it became evident that I was doing nothing more than shoveling against the tide with certain aspects of my life, I'd take my shovel elsewhere and dig into something more productive. We can sell a house and buy it back, quit a job and get rehired, and even get remarried to the same spouse we once divorced, but when time passes by, it's gone for good. But surprisingly, it's often wasted or taken for granted until the doctor says our time is running out. How many times I've heard people say that they're just focusing on quality of life now when there isn't any quality of life left. A true life scenario that is much more common than it should be, but doesn't have to be. We're all granted the same amount of time. We can take it for granted or we can take control of it, and it's nobody's choice but ours. Life is what we make of it. It's as simple as that. It's January 1st, and it's time for New Year's resolutions here in my neck of the woods.